Tonight I saw the play Elling.
Elling is a recently released mental patient, and he and his friend are setting up home in Oslo, their first apartment, their first time on their own.
He was, as he self-described, mama's boy. His mother did everything for him. He was always at home. He never had to deal with life or society or have a job or do anything outside the house.
His friend is, I would say, a little developmentally disabled, to put it the best. He's kind of like a childlike, you know, big guy.
Bjørn is a big man-child. He's kind of like a 40-year-old baby who wants to eat, and he wants to have sex, and then he wants to eat some more, and he wants women, and then he wants hot dogs, and maybe some pizza in between.
Their neighbor, played by Jennifer Coolidge, she is very pregnant, and she passes out outside their door because she is drunk. And they find her, and Kjell, you know, brings her in, puts her on his bed, and takes care of her until she comes back.
She and Bjørn fall instantly in love, you know, love at first sight, and that's very difficult on Elling because, you know, Bjørn is his best friend and his rock, and he's instantly jealous of this possible threat to their friendship.
Elling is played by Dennis O'Hare, who I love, love, love. And I think he's terrific.
He played it very well. I mean, he kind of embodies, you know, fully the character. He was, all the mannerisms, everything, he was, you know, looked like the anxious asylum patient.
He's neurotic, and he shows that neuroses in everything he does, every facial expression, every movement. He's very, very funny.
He's very quirky and appealing. He's odd enough so that you absolutely believe that this man was an institutionalized mental patient, but he's still very endearing.
Brendan Fraser played Bjørn. He was very funny. He was very broad. He was a little over the top, but the character kind of calls for that, so I think it worked really well.
He was kind of a little one level for me. I mean, but what he did, he played the part. He didn't really. It wasn't a stereotype. So it was you know, it was a good portrayal of a mentally handicapped person.
He's done some theater. I don't think he's ever done Broadway, and yeah, he was good. He stood up to Dennis O'Hare pretty well, which is hard because he's a veteran.
Jennifer Coolidge plays a number of different characters in the play. Most often she plays a Radon, who's their upstairs neighbor, but she plays a waitress and she plays a poetess, and she does these characters. I mean, they're so funny.
She's very funny. One character is better than the next. My favorite one was she plays a sort of deranged modern poet who's reads her poem to the audience, and she's on stage for 2 minutes and she's hilarious.
I think she was probably the standout for me in the show, especially as the poet and as the waitress. She was hilarious, just with the way she walked when she was the waitress. She was hilarious.
It was not what I expected. It was interesting. In the end, I enjoyed it. The first act I didn't enjoy as much as the second act. When it ended, I felt very satisfied. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite play.
I think everyone in it was terrific. I didn't love the play. It's funny in parts, and it's interesting enough, but it's kind of blah.
I think it was the writing. The writing, it just wasn't, it just seemed kind of, the jokes were kind of stayed. There was nothing really new or fresh about the jokes.
You know, it's kind of a cliched storyline. You know, the mental patients who are so appealing that you end up caring more about them than the sane people. I didn't care a whole lot.
The first act was definitely not funny to me. I laughed out loud maybe once.
I didn't laugh out loud. I will say the rest of the audience was laughing out loud. I felt like maybe I wasn't getting some of what they were getting, but I definitely smiled a lot, and there were a couple of definite laugh out loud moments.
I liked all the actors. I have nothing bad to say about them, but I think the play as a whole is just not that compelling, not that exciting, and not that funny.
It's very, very well written. It's very well acted. It has some funny moments. But I think you really have to like Broadway. I don't think it's as much of a mainstream sell as some other things on Broadway.
I would have to say that I would not recommend it. I mean, if you want to see Brendan Fraser or you want to see Jennifer Coolidge, you've never seen them before, and you really need to come and see them, then come and see them. But honestly, there are better shows out there, I think, and funnier shows out there if you want to spend your night laughing.